Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today we are diving into something really special. We're looking at a super powerful student-designed prototype that uses smart tech to tackle a genuinely serious social issue, and that's sexual harassment and personal safety in schools and public spaces. This prototype was actually born out of a student hackathon, which just proves that when young, innovative minds see a problem, they don't just sit around talking about it, they literally code a solution. It's practical, it's incredibly timely, and it is exactly what we're going to unpack today.
But before we get into the tech itself, we've got to ask ourselves a pretty tough question. Why do so many harassment incidents go completely unreported in the first place? I want you to really think about the massive, scary friction built into our current reporting systems. According to the project documents, victims often hold back because of fear, embarrassment, or, and this is a big one, they feel they just won't be believed because they don't have concrete evidence. It's a systemic failure where the very act of reporting can honestly feel just as traumatic as the incident itself.
So we have this massive disconnect, right? On one hand, you've got the victim's reality. They're dealing with extreme emotional trauma, stress, anxiety. They might not even know who they're supposed to talk to. And on the other hand, you have our current traditional systems. The docs point out that standard procedures are usually complicated, super time-consuming, and heavily manual. I mean, when someone is terrified and overwhelmed, the absolute last thing they want to do is navigate some slow, clunky bureaucracy. And when cases go unreported, offenders just keep harming others. That is why bridging this gap is absolutely vital. Well, enter the solution. Meet ShelterWay. You might also see it referred to in the hackathon files under prototype names like HearMe or Safeguard. This is the ultimate digital platform designed specifically to break down all those reporting barriers we just talked about. It basically acts as a personal safety companion, giving users a totally safe, confidential, and user-friendly tool right in their pockets. Section 1. Emergency SOS Alert System and Immediate Threat Resolution. Let's get right into it. Let's start with one of its most powerful features, how this app acts as a literal digital bodyguard during an active, real-time threat. Think about it. When you're in an active state of panic, your fine motor skills just drop. Trying to read small text on a screen? Nearly impossible. That's exactly why the developers centered the app around a giant, unmistakable red SOS button. It is built entirely for high-stress simplicity. You don't have to think, you just tap. And the literal millisecond that button is tapped, it turns a standard smartphone into an instant lifeline. Bam! It auto-shares your exact GPS location, accurate down to the meter. It instantly fires off alerts to pre-configured trusted contacts like your family, while simultaneously notifying campus security. And on top of all that, it can even sound a high-decibel siren to deter an attacker. It's one tap to trigger a massive coordinated response. And the brilliant part is how this builds into a whole emergency ecosystem. You can set up your trusted emergency channels ahead of time: family, campus guards, national hotlines, whatever you need. But crucially, the app actively assesses the threat level by asking a few simple prompts and then pulls up a live map to physically route you to real-time verified safe zones. It will literally guide a user in distress to a secure area, like the campus main gatehouse, and tell them exactly how far away it is. Moving on to Section 2, Digital Evidence Collection Tools for Post-Incident Resolution. Okay, so the SOS handles the immediate danger, but what happens after the threat is gone? Well, securing undeniable proof is how you actually hold offenders accountable. The app features this beautifully clean incident logging interface that's designed to be totally systematic and discreet. It allows users to quietly compile timestamps and specific physical details without drawing any attention to themselves. If something happens, a victim can open this up and start building their case while their memory is still 100% fresh. The workflow here is incredibly straightforward, which is exactly what you need. Step 1, you just select the incident type from a drop-down menu. Step 2, you pinpoint the exact time and a specific location, say the science lab hallway. Step 3, and this is huge, you attach digital evidence like photos, videos, or audio recordings. Finally, Step 4, all of this is compiled and stored locally as encrypted, time-stamped statements. It makes reporting to the police or a school disciplinary committee so much easier and way less traumatic. I really want to highlight this specific phrase straight from the project's own description. This app absolutely removes the barrier of lack of evidence. You know that whole he said, she said dynamic? It prevents so many victims from seeking justice. But by organizing digital evidence securely and efficiently right after an incident happens, the app completely crushes that excuse and empowers victims to come forward with real confidence. Section 3. Ethics, Privacy, and App MVP Features. Now, obviously, when you're handling highly sensitive reports of harassment, Your security has to be bulletproof. The app's data privacy protocols are super strict. They collect only what is absolutely essential to verify someone's identity within the school system. So just name, IC number, and class. That personal data is then locked down in encrypted databases. Access is highly restricted, limited strictly to authorized admins for investigation purposes. There is zero unauthorized sharing with third parties, and everything is anonymized wherever possible to protect the reporter. And if we check out this minimum viable product or MVP checklist from the hackathon, we can see exactly what the team prioritized for the initial rollout. Notice how they perfectly balanced hardcore safety features, like secure notifications, evidence storage, and that panic button, with real accessibility. They made sure to include a quick close discrete mode for immediate safety, and crucially, multi-language support covering Bahasa Malaysia, English, and Chinese. It's so inclusive, ensuring that users from diverse backgrounds and different levels of tech savviness can easily use the tool. Before we wrap up, we absolutely have to give a massive shout out to the student team behind this. This prototype was born from the Girls Code Hack Weekend. In their project reflections, they talked about how they learned not just about prototyping and running user surveys, but about overcoming technical roadblocks. They divided tasks, they asked for mentorship when they needed it, and they cooperated beautifully to bring this whole vision to life. This is what it looks like when tech education is applied to real-world problems. I want to bring it all home with this powerful quote right from their project description. Because, look, beyond the GPS tracking, beyond the encrypted databases and the giant SOS buttons, this is the ultimate goal: to promote a culture of safety, respect, and trust. By reducing underreporting and making sure offenders are actually held accountable, this kind of technology helps stop repeated incidents. It literally transforms environments. So, here is a final thought for you to chew on. How could digital tools exactly like this reshape public safety in your own community? Imagine if every school, every college campus, or public space was equipped with empowering student-designed tech like ShelterWay. When we reduce that reporting friction and give people the tools to speak up safely, we genuinely change the world for the better. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and hey, stay safe out there.